What's up, Vanguardians? This is Jonathan SP Mindham, and I am here today with another wonderful live stream for the Vanguardian group. What is also becoming known as the first live stream due for AA. We've got a good group of guys here today, some special guests. I'm going to go down the list as I see them. It probably is different on your guys' screens, but I'm going to start with Matt. If you can do, we'll go from there.
Hey, name's Matt Ortiz. I got 4th place at, what was it, SAC Regionals using Seeger for Buddy Fight. For Vanguard, I've gone to Nationals for Team League. That's about it. And I'm kind of just here. I was just asked to get on here. I said, why not?
Just because reasons.
Just because reasons and nothing to do. Don't want to study for finals.
Oh, man.
That's a good stress reliever. All right, next, Mason. Mason.
Eventually.
He's gone.
Mason. All right, well, Mason Clark.
Oh, I was lagging. Like I couldn't. That's me. Can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead and talk about yourself.
Oh, hey.
I'd love to do that.
I'm Mason from the Science of Vanguard. I won ARG Nashville. Was first seed going into whatever it's called, Tennessee Nationals, no, regional, sorry. And that's about it.
Wow. That's it.
That's what I got.
All right, Donnie.
Oh. So I placed top at at Atlanta and went to Nationals and scrubbed out the end.
Donnie, what deck were you using at Nationals?
I was using Yggdrasil, but I didn't get to play test it, so I didn't have any draws and extends in it. It was just straight.
And what did you top with at Atlanta?
I was using Minerva in Atlanta.
Okay, so you stuck with the Genesis. All right.
Yeah.
Much respect for that. Mr. Gall.
Hey, I'm Jonathan Gall. People call me Sleepy. Actually, I have to think about what I've done. I've been playing for a while. Let's see.
Talk about New York. Talk about New York.
I want to do Long Island Regional way back when, before we even had break rides and all that silliness. I took 3rd place with no heal Spectral Duke. It was fun. Went to Nationals and scrubbed out super hard.
I hate that deck so fucking much. You don't even know.
Yeah,
Spectral
man.
Duke is best Duke.
You shut the fuck up. Spectral Duke is best Duke. Hate that shit. I lost to that in Pasadena, so I'm salty.
Right,
I went to 2 decks. Vermilion
Hold
and Spectral Duke.
on, let me finish introducing everyone. Mr. Gage. Hold on, we're going to move on. Mr. Gage.
Yeah, I took 1st at the Dallas Regional, and I guess I'm the reason that there's actually a sanctioned store in Wyoming.
What?
GG.
Hear that, Wyoming? What deck did you use at Texas?
Draconic Overlord, Break Ride, Novel.
Oh, so evil. So evil. All right, and last but not least, I want to introduce, I'm going to do this very John Cena-like, the National Champion, Carlos Cancio. Is that saying it correctly?
Yes, you got it right, sir.
I have with us is our special guest today, and I'm going to let him talk for a second. I'm going to give him the floor here.
Talk? Yes, sir? Okay. Hello. Donnie, if you would like to say what you were trying to say earlier.
Remember, guys, Carlos is not Mexican.
You need to start with telling us about your pretty headband.
I'm Philippine. This is a headband, and I dance, so my hair gets all over the place. So I wear headbands. I'm that weird. I was about to wear a headband to Nationals, but no.
You didn't wear?
I would scare some people. No, my hair was like in like a samurai cut with like a ponytail, man bun going on. Yeah. My name is Carlos Cancio, and I just started playing Vanguard back last October.
Oh, thank God. Wait, this past 2014?
No, sorry, 2013. Sorry.
Okay, I'm like, wait.
Well, damn, that was fast.
National champ, right?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah. Like last year.
Like the little girl from Canada.
I got 16th place at Thank You Fest, going to X1, which sucked, and then 2nd place at Sacramento, and then 1st place at Nats. Yeah, that's it. And Team League, top 8. I don't know what we placed exactly though. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good. We're actually going to begin with interviewing our champ here. I have a couple of questions and things. And I forgot to introduce myself. Of course, I'm Jonathan SP Mindham, host of the stream. Everyone knows me for, I don't know, many things. SPs, yeah. But today, guys, we're going to be talking about a variety of different things on the topic agenda. If you're watching right now, we'll be talking with the champion and doing an interview with him. We'll be talking about the upcoming Worlds. We'll be talking about the new comprehensive rules that just came out. We'll be talking about the standard format that the Japanese have proposed, the new mechanic known as the Resist. We'll be talking about Sing Saber and the X. That is on the agenda for today. And
It's the key.
no one forget, we are also going to be giving away a playmat today. Very excited about that.
Can I have a playmat?
Can I try to win it?
Oh, okay.
There's only like one person in this call who actually has a playmat, so that's Team 2XC. What I want to talk about, Carlos, I had the pleasure of watching a good chunk of your matches, actually, at Nationals, and I gotta say, like, what were your thoughts going into it? Like, I mean, you were one of the few Revenger. I couldn't say it with a straight face. I'm sorry.
I can't even listen to it.
I shouldn't say that. The two guys that are on the stream that went to Nats, or the three guys that are on, 2 out of the 3 were playing Revenger. So, tell us, just kind of give us what were your thoughts that day going into it?
Well, first off, I wanted to just get drunk the night before and not even worry about Nats, to be honest. I was just like, hey, let's just all have fun, be friends. But I was expecting to see a lot of Revenger players, but I was more afraid of running into CEO Yggdrasil.
Hey, baby.
What Donnie played, to be honest, and then, but to my surprise, there was like 16 Shadow Paladin players and only 2 CEO players.
Yeah, there was 2
right?
CEOs.
Oh god.
Yeah, I was just more scared of that because I never got to playtest against it. Like, I usually don't like to playtest right before a big tournament. You know, just kind of like build up your mojo kind of thing for triggers. But I was playtesting and then I got there and then my friend Justin goes, "Oh, we're probably gonna be seeing a lot of like Yggdrasil players," and I was like, "What's that do again? Like, what does it do?" And then he was like, "You can't guard with 1 or higher, right?" Right.
I was really shocked. Like, and I don't know what I heard the other day on your stream what you played, but like, what were some of your matches again? What decks did you play against?
My first round I won against the Surkaiser, Rocco.
Oh yeah, the Nova deck. Nova deck.
And then
Alice would be happy.
Yeah. And then second round I won against Novell. And then third round I won against Revengers, and then fourth round I won against Glendios. And then top 8 I won against Glendios and Shadow Paladins the rest of the day.
Novell is still a thing.
Good, yeah, there was I think 2 or 3 Kagero players at Nats. So I mean, it wasn't.
Yes, it's still pretty good. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, again, anything that stops you from healing.
Yeah.
I think is
I was kind of scared, to be honest. I was just like, I never played against this, and then I was just like,
so
oh,
was that,
okay.
what was your toughest match out of all the matches that you had that day? Like, was it the Glendios? Was it the Novell?
It was the Glendios. It like, with Revengers, you can kind of keep tempo with other decks. Like, oh, they can +1, then I can pop 1, or like if they +1, I can +1 myself, and try to keep pace with them. But against Glendios with like Worldline Dragon and all that, it was actually pretty hard for me to do so. Like, oh god, this is weird.
And the attacker director.
And then I played against people who ran like an extra unicorn, and then they like 1 unicorn, and then lock 2, and then they throw down like a photon, and then I'm like, oh my god, like that was like the easiest tri-lock I've ever seen in my life.
I feel really bad. Like, I mean, it wasn't a bad call or anything. It was an incredible misplay of by a lot of parties. The Rubidium was not being formally done, and not realizing the card text on that, again, it never came up until that very moment. But I think Glendios was so should have done better that day from a lot of players, not just that match.
Like in top 8, Roy Odell, dude, like he didn't have any photons in his deck, but even without the photons, like he kept me in check. I was just like, I was having the hardest time of my life. I was just like, man, this sucks. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I'm already at top 8. I don't care.
What deck did you play before going into nationals, by the way?
At regionals or just
at
nationals?
regionals.
I
like this story.
Sacramento. In Sacramento, I went in with Dragonic Overlord, the Rebirth, and it was like my second day playing with it. Oh, butt crack. And then, yeah, it was just fun. It
Wow,
sucked.
so pretty. How many people were at the Sacramento regional?
Like 350.
And it was your second day playing Rebirth, and you topped with it.
Yeah, surprisingly. It sucked though, because it was like when you break ride and everything, you get like 3 twin drives. I didn't trigger at all. It was pretty bad. I was like, okay, he's at 3 damage, I'm at 4. I could push right now. Break ride, skills, twin drive, nothing. Okay, that's okay. I get another one, twin drive, nothing. Okay, let's try this again. Twin drive, nothing. Oh man. I lose. It sucked. I ended up losing to my favorite deck though, and that sucked a lot.
I got a question for you. What are you gonna play at Worlds?
No, hold on. We're gonna get there. Hold on.
Yeah, man. Trying to spoil it already.
Yeah, we're gonna get there because you know that the one Greek guy is watching right now. He's gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, I gotta prepare.
Oh my god, Carlos Cancio is playing Abyss, Sing Saver, something. Well, that's very impressive, and I think I'm a huge opponent of people. I think we need to celebrate our champions a little bit more. I think this game doesn't do a very good job at that. Everyone's like, well, the other games don't. I think that to be a huge lie because Magic has a ranking system that actually like you can look at right now and see who the best players in the world are. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if there's actually like a celebration. It's very toxic, but it's more like whoever just wins something, and then we worship them until the next tournament, and then they're old news. And I think Vanguard has a lot where our last year champion.
Is that
well, he was the year before. And you played him, right, Donnie?
Oh yeah, I played him at the airport, but we can talk about that later.
An airport fight. That sounds very used for Vanguard. But I think I'd like to say like
planes.
Card games on airplanes.
I think it's an incredible thing that you get to go to Japan, and I again congratulate you for that. And I think it's a unique experience that hopefully in the long run you do very, 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 very well. So
thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Because I would like to see America actually take back this championship from those damn Germans.
Carlos, please, Carlos.
I'll try. I'm too busy enjoying Japan.
And technically, we can't even say Brandon Smith won as an American. He got his invite via Canada. So technically, America has not won this yet.
North?
Wait, really? Oh yeah, that's true. Well, North America won.
He invaded Canada the first year and won the regional there, and then they were super salty.
Wait, where's he from?
I would have been.
He's from Michigan, but he jumped the border.
I'm gonna go over here.
For that,
Smaller player.
I can imagine.
So hopefully we take home the gold that time around. I think all 3 of you guys that are going are gonna do a phenomenal job. So now, Mr. Gall, in preparation for Worlds, I heard the other day you were feeling done with Vanguard after watching your video. You were thinking about jumping to Yu-Gi-Oh! Please don't do that.
I'll play with you.
What are your like preparation? Have you been playing it all since you won? Like, have you totally been relaxed? Like, has your locals been treating you differently? Like, is anything going on? Like, have you feel more celebrity-like?
What?
Did I lose him? No. Hello.
I think he's thinking about it.
Oh, you're thinking about it?
I think so.
Do you feel like the national champ?
They did televise the damn matches or something. I don't know. Just some sort of media. Just went quiet really quickly.
Yeah, Carlos, I'm asking you questions.
Sorry.
He's thinking really hard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I am
I
not.
can see the steam coming from his ears.
No, I'm I'm not quitting Vanguard or anything like that. I just wanted to take a break because like I don't know if you remember, but like after each round, like my back started hurting. So I was just like, man, this game takes too much out of me. So like after Sacramento, I was like, oh cool, I'm going to nationals. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take a break until then. And then they're like, oh, you only have a month. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Has Bushiroad contacted you about all your stuff yet?
Yeah. Be flying on January 9th.
So how many days are you there for?
Not that long actually. It's like January 9, and then
The championship's the 11th.
10-hour flight. Yeah, the championship's on the 11th. We get there on the 10th, and then and it's gonna be like Chicago, where like the next day after the tournament, we go back home. So.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't really get
much leeway.
No sightseeing. Huh?
So you get like a day to go and buy me Neonectar stuff from.
If I had $1
Japan.
for every time someone said, "Yo, buy me something from Japan," I'd be balling right now.
I
could buy a Yu-Gi-Oh
give
deck
you
right
that.
now. But
I can easily give you that money. So that's.
Mindham actually has money.
Yeah.
all the
$80
MSPs,
investment.
all the
I
MSPs.
kind of want.
Yeah. And their packs are incredibly cheaper. So.
Are they?
Oh yeah, they're so much cheaper.
So unfair.
Have you been to like? What's your locals like? Have you been there? Like, do people treat you differently?
My locals is a store called Gamology in Montclair, and the people there are really chill. And then, I get back, and then they're really cool. Like as a present, my friend got me because I love Revengers. I love Shao Paladins. Like I love Shao Paladins ever since I started playing the game. And so he comes up to me and says, "Hey, close your eyes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he says, "Open your eyes." He's holding it in front of me, SP Blaster Dark Revenger Abyss.
Oh wow.
Nice.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." He's like, "It's yours." And I was like, "No way!" So I kind of dropped my shit ball, and I was just like, "Cool."
No.
Yeah, no. Ever since
God.
I got back, like it's been chill. We're just all chill people. Because a lot of the people in my locals, we actually top a lot in our like regionals. Like Justin Tang, he also went to Nats. He got 8th place there. He got 3rd place at Sacramento. He got 5th place at last year's nationals. And then
I didn't realize that. I mean, like I've known Justin from the groups and everything, but I didn't realize that like his list of accomplishments actually were like a little bit longer than some people's. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, that's why I was like, dude, like every like consecutively going Nats, that's pretty cool. I hope to do that. But yeah,
when I make my trip out to Frankensons, we need to have a match. I want to test against you.
When are you going? I'm there.
May. I'm gonna be there in May.
Go on a Wednesday. Well, yeah, because it's only open on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Yeah, I've been there before for Team League, but I said to myself, because you guys kept talking about it, I'm like, I must go and play them. So.
Yeah, we all congregate there.
Well, awesome. I'm again. So now going into this, we know the meta. We know what's out. We just got set 16. What are you thinking about playing?
Spike Brothers. Nice.
Ogles. Them Ogles.
I'm Ogles.
Life is Ogle, guys.
That shit hurts. It's not even a joke how much that hurts.
Doesn't matter.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Dude, all you have to do is get the freaking break run.
Well, if it's best of one, which it probably won't be, I'll play Spike Brothers. But if you know, I'm gonna stick to this. The one time I didn't play Shadow Paladin at a regional was Sacramento, and I got beat by Shadow Paladin, and I was just like,
oh man.
The salt was just like.
But now, when you say like Shadow Paladins going forward, like have you contemplated running the Thing Saver Abyss deck? Have you thought about that? That's what I expect the damn Japanese to be playing. Like I totally see them just going crazy.
I thought about it, and like I did some research, and it was mainly like they could Legion. I don't know, like you can like I'm probably wrong, but
then 2 times.
Yeah, they Legion the cards back in 2 times, and then that's why they rolled it out to only doing it once per turn.
Right, that was Thing Saver's effect, where you could Persona Legion and use your little effect from the Persona ride, and still return 4 cards even though you're still in a Legion state. You just don't get the mate again. Yeah. So they had to update those rules.
We'll talk about that rule because that was a big discussion within all the forums and stuff. But yeah, I feel like someone made a post today, and maybe you guys all saw this, but they're all talking about the broken combo decks now, like all the things that you can possibly play that, you know, based on no longer having Lord and Clan, clan restriction. And we'll talk about that, but it's like, I really want to know if anyone is going to take advantage of that, because again, the Japanese haven't been playing mixed decks. And right now, Bushiroad, I'm telling you, one day they're going to be like November or January 9th, clan restriction. you guys are going to be able to play 10 hours later. You'll be like,
I have like a Genesis Shelldown in which deck, and I'm like, alright guys, I'm here, here's my deck check. And then they're like, nope, you can't play this. And I'm like, but I don't have anything else to play with.
Go buy a trial deck right now. You have 10 minutes.
The trial decks actually do well. So.
Trial decks actually so funny. Some guy in Sacramento got to 6th round with a trial deck, and I was like, whoa.
What the triggers?
The one Legion, mate.
The one Legion.
They just went Kai on us.
Like Legion was even out back then. It was all the break stuff.
Oh my God! So it was.
What was it, Grimoire, or what was it?
It was Angelica and.
I think it was.
Oh, Break Ride?
I'm
trying to think of the most recent.
It was actually Mordred. It was actually Revenger.
Shadow?
It was Shadow. Oh,
My
it was like,
my friend in Sacramento. Yeah, my friend in Sacramento was actually beaten by a trial deck too. I think he lost the. I think it was the Narukami one, not Thunderbreak. Bound Sword. There we go. For some reason I can't remember. And he was like the epitome of sadness.
That's one break ride. Like, how does that deck work?
You break ride and then you kill a river guard and attack.
Your opponent has 2 to pass and double crit them.
Oh my God. That's
You're like, boom, best of one, suck my dick. There it is. I'm a trial deck, you're great stuck, that's all that matters.
There you go. That's the worst you can do at a regional. You get knocked out by a trial deck.
It hurts too much, senpai.
I'll cry.
I've done pretty bad too. Like in Pasadena, what I was saying earlier was I was playing, let's see, it was August. So it was, I think, set 15 golds. And I was like, you know what? No, it was set 14. Yeah, it was just Zenith. I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I just want to have some fun. Boom, I take out a Novel. I take out a Chaos Breaker. I lose the I lose the Vermilion. And I was like, are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? What happened was I ended up getting trade stuck. I got my front row smacked, and I just lost. And I was like, oh, there goes my game. Just like that. But I was like, you know what? That's not bad. Next round, I lose the 16 crit Spectral Duke. And I was like, yeah, I hate everything. That's why when you said earlier that you played Spectral Duke, whoever it was, I can't remember.
Was me. If it makes it feel better, I wasn't. I wasn't playing 16 crit. I was playing a 10 crit 6 draw.
Oh, dude, I got crit literally every drive check, and then we hit grade 3, double crit, and then I was like, okay, there's literally nothing I can do against you. He got the freaking progressive riot off everything.
Oh my God.
Spectral Duke creates Adam Winters.
Oh my God.
Spectral Duke is fun. That's why I like Phantom Blaster Abyss. It reminds me a lot of Spectral Duke. Like you don't get to use it like willingly or like whenever the hell you want, but it reminds me a lot.
Duke needs a Legion.
I feel like we could see a Duke Legion revival because the Spike Brothers or the Golds are getting the next
BTO3, they're getting the sneak peek card, I think, in set 2 also. Something like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they get with that, but...
I wouldn't have to do much, I've still got the damn deck.
I'll buy it.
So when it comes down to it, like, are you going to be doing a lot of practicing, Carlos? Do you feel like you're going to be, or are you just going to go into it, you want to drink the night before and wing it? I feel like that's a good strategy. Like, just don't even overthink it.
Yeah, like that was me at Chicago. I was just like, I just wanna enjoy Chicago, and then I was like, if I get wasted and I wake up too late for Nats, then oh well. And then I got a bit hungover, but I mean,
been there.
I was at Nats, yeah.
So for a deck for Worlds, you could always run that grade 1 bum rush that Alice was talking about last time.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, bro. Go for a game all day.
No, man.
I don't know. I don't like Legion too much stuff. I'll just make Cap Butler.
Cap Butler, right? Well, Risers won't be out yet. You're gonna be Brutal Jack, right?
Yeah, but sorry, Brutal Jack. Yeah.
Brutal Jack,
so they can't Legion. You just win.
I feel like
Done.
We had an online tournament, and the top two in it both came down to Nova Grappa decks. One was playing Risers, one played Brutal Jack Risers, or Brutal Jack Cat Butler. The Brutal Jack Cat Butler guy raped the Riser guy. What? It wasn't even
So
like just raped him. He couldn't Legion like you said. The Vanguard's so vanilla, and it's just like in the soul. Crit.
That was such a great final. That was such a great final.
I think the match lasted like 5 minutes. Like it was over.
Awesome game.
Oh,
So
they're
my friend to play it, and that's that'll be cool.
All right. Well, excellent. I'm going to open the floor to any of the other gentlemen who are commentating if they have any questions to Mr. Carlos.
What are you
I had
gonna
someone
drink
ask me to
tonight
ask
for?
him. I'm pulling it up right now. Hang
Hold
on.
on. One at a time. Let's start with Gage. I saw his
Oh,
voice.
mine was what he was gonna drink.
First question is the best question.
I'm feeling a bit classy. I don't even know if they sell like rum chata in Japan.
Oh my
You
God.
can get anything in Japan.
I love rum chata.
Rum chata's so good, right?
You go to Japan and they'll have rum chata in 80 flavors. Like, look at the Kit Kat.
And in vending machines.
Yeah, and
so
they
down.
have the little sleeping stations too.
Alcoholic vending machines, I'm down with that.
It's not
totally
even a
see
joke.
that.
They're the best thing ever.
They have juice boxes.
Alcoholic jukeboxes.
Yeah, it's the adult. It's Capri Suns for adults. Mr. Gall, any questions for the champ?
I had one, but I forgot it, so skip me.
Oh
Come
man,
back to me.
Donnie, is he still Mexican?
I don't
Not
know.
Mexican?
He's looking a little tied to me.
Do you have any questions for the champ?
No, we talk too much on
We
the
actually-
rules.
we
So
talk on a daily
I already
basis.
know him. I know how he cheats and stuff.
All right, Mason Clark, do you have any questions for the champ?
It's not cheating if you
I
don't
had-
get caught.
I had someone else ask a question for me to ask to him, if you don't mind.
Okay.
No, please.
So they were wondering when he looks at a deck to play, like, what does he want? Does he like look for like a boss card, or does he look for more of the interactions of the card? So like, does he like care more about Abyss, or that like Blaster Dark Revenger can unflip damage with Doreen and then set up more plays future? Like, what do you look at when building a deck?
I look more of the support because like a boss card's a boss card, but I feel like you kind of need a bit of everything to help out throughout the whole game. Like I don't know how many times like throwing down a Dorint and then a Blast Dark Revenger saved my ass because I needed one more counter blast just to restand and all that stuff. So things like that. Initially I look at the boss card and then I look at things like around it, like, oh, okay, so what can I do to make this good or better? And that's about it.
Okay. That's all my questions.
Yeah.
Cool. Mr. Matt.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you got another one, Gall? Hold on, we'll go back to you.
I've kind of got a question.
Because Donnie didn't have one, we'll go back to you, but hold on, we're going to use Matt.
Okay. Is there a card that you see when you're playing against somebody and you just think, fuck you? Is there a card you just hate? Like
Laurel!
Judge Val Revenger.
Laurel is best.
No,
I only run
man.
4 Laurel though. I want to run more, but apparently I'm not allowed to.
Laurel's too
What
good.
do you mean? I run 8 Laurel.
But you said Judge Val, Carlos?
I hate seeing Judge Val, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you know they're gonna superior call and plus,
Yeah,
or just yeah.
I hate the mirror match. It's honestly who can get Judge Val off the field first, or in other words, who can get Blast Dark Avenger Abyss on the field first, not even the Vanguard circle, on the rearguard circle. And then if they're lucky, or if I'm just really bad at this game and I don't get it, and then they get the hit, and then they get a +1, and then their setup is just like godly, and I'm just like, oh man, this is gonna hurt so much. I don't want to play this game, but it's okay. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I just hate the mirror match. Even when I was playing Raging Form, like seeing Creeping Dark Goat, I was just like, oh no, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah.
Drive check Raging Form, win game.
That's how I lost at finals at Sacramento. The guy goes, he didn't have Raging Form in hand, and then he does his drive check, and then he gets Raging Form, and then I lost. Yay! We're still going to Chicago together. It doesn't matter.
All right, Mr. Gall, you had another question for him?
Oh, actually, mine's kind of Judge Bow related, actually. So I was wondering if you had any idea what you were going to play once we're actually allowed to use Stride. Because Because someone pointed out to me that you could actually stride, and then it would, if it was one of the generic ones, it would get the name. So if you strode over, PBO Abyss or Mortar,
and then you
could just boost it. You could boost it with Judge Bow and still get the effect.
So you're asking if like what deck I'll be playing with Stride, or like if I'll still be using the starter, or
A little both.
a little both?
Just what your ideas on it are.
For Stride, I've been playing against my friends. Well, he just got like 4 Gear Chronicle TDs and put them together. Well, no, 2 Gear Chronicle TDs and put them together because they come with 2 perfect cards. So, and with Gear Chronicle, and I noticed it works really well with Stride because all the cards are like made for Stride or striding, and then it's just even better with the Generation Break. I really want to try Gear Chronicle, and
you mean the Tom deck?
yeah, pretty much. I was playing against it, and he Stride so many times, and I'm like, I'm still in this game, and then he still has that one card. It was like the Break Red for Stride or whatever, and then I couldn't guard, and then I lost. So it was cool. I am gonna try incorporating Stride with Shadow Paladin, Special Revengers, probably Kagero too, but it's kind of a mixed bag.
No.
Like, if I'm still playing Abyss, like, I of course do not want to drop my Abyss just to Stride, and I don't want to if anything, I would just drop like a Mordred, but I don't want to drop any like 2s or 1s either, because I need them for fodder for my Abyss. So it's a mixed bag. So I'm gonna try to figure out a build for that, hopefully. See how that goes.
All right.
All right, so we've kind of talked about Worlds. We've hit on the subject of what things we'll be playing. What do you guys think though will be being played at Worlds now? Like, I want to open this up. I want to see like what decks do you think will be what we will see, and what you think will win at Worlds. So why don't we? Oh, hold on 1 second. We got a newcomer here. Mr. Thomas Sharp has joined us.
The challenger has approached.
Mr. Thomas Sharp was just coming back from a tournament where I hope he won, because if he did,
I split for first place because it was getting too late to play out. Because I was trying to get back here as quickly as possible to finish.
He's like, I got a live stream. Let's go.
Yeah, pretty much. I knew everybody who topped, so I was just like, all right, whoever ends up in the finals with me, let's just split.
Sure. All right, well, I'm actually going to start with you, Mr. Thomas. We're going to talk about what you think is going to be at Worlds and what do you think is going to win Worlds.
Is it before set 16 or
set
after?
16 is all legal.
Is it before 17 or after 17?
It is before 17.
Before 17, so
yes, we are in like in 2-3 weeks.
From playing today, honestly, like I think Seekers and Abyss are the 2 best decks. So I think the 2 of them are gonna perform the best at Worlds. I played in the tournament today. My normal deck is Shadow Paladins, but I played in the tournament today with Seekers that I made probably less than an hour before the thing started, and I only had 2 Thing Savers in it. I had 2 Thing Savers and 2 Alfreds, and then 4 Wingles. And the day was so easy.
Now wait though, what was your locals consisting of? And how many players?
There was today was actually a little bit lower. There was 12 of us, I think. And it's the most competitive locals in the city, though. One of the guys who participated went to Worlds the other year. 2 of the other people who were there top team league with me last spring. So it's not huge, but everybody there is pretty good. There was myself and one other person playing Seekers. There was 4 people playing Prominence Glare. There was 1 person playing Garnet Star CBD. There was 1 person, for some reason, playing Murakumo Legion. And someone was playing Tetraburst. And then someone was messing around with the new Dark Irregular Legion. So the top 4 was myself and the other Seeker guy, the Garnet Star CBD, and one of the Prominence players.
Okay. All right, Mr. Matt, what do you think is going to be at Worlds, and what do you think is going to win?
Well, Am I correct in saying that we still have the ruling to where if Thing Saver, whatever, attacks the Vanguard, and let's say they're using Glendios, and you Rubidium to a reverse, they don't get to stand? Do we still have that or no?
That is correct.
Alright, then I think Glendios will actually have a pretty good showing, just because of the Thing Savers and the Abysses, everything that requires them to attack the Vanguard. I think people will still play it. The Photons really help. I think it was Carlos, or no, somebody was saying that instant Trilot is just pretty good.
Cares a lot.
And so you lock their rear guards, and you stop their Vanguard from restanding. And that's what you can do. And I'm pretty sure on Rubidium, you can make it attack a reverse, even if it's in the back row, right?
Oh yeah. You can take it wherever you want.
Exactly.
The card is actually really good.
Yeah, it's safe from a lot of cards. So I think Glendios is going to do really well. But besides that, Thing Saver and Abyss will still have a really, really good showing. I think we'll see more Glare than Yggdrasil, because even though you can pump up Yggdrasil, I feel like Glare is easier to get off, more consistent to get off, and you can still plus your fields. So I think those are the decks to look for. Thing Saver and Abyss will still be there. Glendios should still be there, especially with set 16 out. And then Glare. I think Knuckle may do really well, but if they go against Glendios, and they try to attack 4 and they redirect, they just lost a lot. So I think it might beat those up. But I'd say those are the decks to look for.
Interesting. All right, Mr. Clark.
Hey, I think.
Oh my God.
Hey, what? I think that Glendios, like you said, is well positioned. But like, if you want to go like leveling it, if you think Glendios is what people are gonna play,
Hold on, I gotta stop you. What are you, a Schnauzer? What is that?
I'm a dog with a party hat on, and I'm at the beach at the moment, I believe.
That looks nice. Wish I was there.
I can go to Athens, you know.
Yeah, commercial. All right, go on.
Oh no. So I think that's good. I think you could play Glare if you think everyone's gonna be playing Glendios, because then you'll be able to stop grade 1s from being good. I'm assuming like it's our set 16, not theirs, or is it? Is that?
Also, it'll be ours at 16. Yeah.
Okay. English format. Okay, so if it's our English format, you can do that. But I think like the decks you should expect to see are Glendios, Abyss, Thing Saver, and Glare.
Right.
I don't think that Knucklebuster is incredible, but it's decent.
I think it might have.
Aquaforce is clearly going to win Worlds, but like, have you seen their Legion? Their Legion gives you a critical and 5,000 power. That's like Maelstrom, except more work.
Dude, I don't even know another card that does that. I mean, I think the Gold Paladin, it was a double rare. It was the one that Legion with 12k. I think it does the same thing, but dude,
it's like kind of
has a tie, right? So it's like
you don't have to do 4 attacks.
Yeah, that too. I mean, it's just.
I mean, if Glendios is going to be popular at Worlds, you should play Aquaforce because the matchup's so good for Aquaforce.
Oh, dude, I mean, you can rush them before they can even lock you. I mean, why not?
Yeah, totally.
And then they possibly go wrong.
Glendios being really popular at Worlds, though. I feel like people are going to play Legion.
Kai, you played, I'm sorry, Donnie, you played Glendios at Nashville, didn't you?
No, I played Glendios at ARG.
ARG, oh, okay, alright.
Yeah.
That's doing something awesome.
Well, actually, let's go to Mr. Donnie. Donnie, what do you think is going to be at Worlds, and what do you think is going to win?
Let's see. All the Paladin decks will be at Worlds, of course.
You know how sad that is? Hold on. That statement right there is so depressing, okay? All Paladin.
Musketeers to win Worlds?
Well, okay, no. Of course I would want to see that, but it'll never happen until I actually start playing competitively. So what ends up happening is what ends up really happening is, I think you said it right there, Donnie, is which Paladin deck will outplay the other Paladin deck. But go ahead.
Let's see. I really like Gold Paladin because Aglavel, the Trial deck one and the one that Legions with Core, I think it's just so broken early game. Yeah. So you rush them and you don't let them set up.
Aglavel's real good.
Aglavel's that awesome. Okay, we'll come back to Donnie.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I mean, I had to mute my mic.
Hang on.
You got a standing
You just can't lose. Like, if you have a Bruno and an Aglavel, you call a card, you just like win 80% of your games right there.
Yeah, you get crit to 2. You call an Aglavel, and call a Josephus, and you win. The end.
Yeah. How does anyone beat that?
Ideal scenarios are ideal, though. That doesn't mean that they're always going to happen.
I feel like, okay, but honestly, Musketeers can do that.
In my life.
Yeah, but musketeers can do that, but they have to sack a unit, Jonathan. That's the difference. Like you have to...
if you're going for grade 2 rush, it does not have to do that. There is not. It is an Aglavale concept.
More cards.
The only thing I do not get in an Aglavale deck is the Bruno ability to constantly keep 3,000. I get a Morocco.
Okay, now here's the thing I really like about Aglavale, and this has helped me out a lot. I'm grade stuck, right? Right at grade 2, call Aglavale, counterblast 1, look at the top 3, call Regulation Liberator Aglavale, Soul Blast 1, Agler to hand, and everything's awesome. That happens so much more than you think.
I'm not Rylocked anymore, guys.
Best shit ever.
And you got a free unit. And you feel
and you got a free. Yeah, it's just it's beautiful. Like it happens so great. It's so great.
I'm so distracted by this.
That's the sound you hear when you're playing Aglavale.
There's a Loki. All right,
there is a Loki. The camera fell again.
What do you think is going to be played at Worlds, and what do you think is going to win?
I'm playing Brett Washington. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the tournament thing. Pay no attention to me.
Outside of all the stuff that's been mentioned, I find it interesting that no one's mentioned the leaders at all. Pre-stride, they're actually viable.
Gross.
They are the mega colony of the Link Joker. They are like
they're pretty fun.
They stun the Vanguard. That's all they do.
Like bugs, and that's bad. And then
that's
the other thing is like they're okay, but it's like they're not gonna go off every single game like super consistently in like a devastating way. You know what I mean? More other decks can have bigger power plays that net them more advantage and can go off easier than what the leaders can do. Like you get over the leader's big turn and you're fine. It's not Thing Saver standing up 3 times or like Abyss swing at you for 30k. And
I think we're going to see a couple of deleter rogues at least, though.
They will have fun losing the first 2 rounds, and then people move on. So we're playing
like the little miniature anti-meta of Vanguard.
Anti-meta is not great in Vanguard, though.
But here's the thing. I don't think we'll see deleters for the sheer fact of the nature of this tournament. I think what you're going to see is people playing the consistent builds or the builds that at least have the ability to do a lot of threatening stuff. I mean, like I haven't heard anyone say Genesis yet, which I still think is one of the best decks in the meta.
But Glare does the same thing.
Yeah, but the feeling that I have is Glare though the ability to Soul Blast and get all those other kinds of effects is insane. Like you're advantaging in so many different levels. Whereas Glare, yes, you get to fill your field and things, but I don't think it's to the extent like the ability. Oh, I Soul Blast and I get to retire a unit. Oh, I Soul Blast and I get to draw, or something on those lines.
Playing against Yggdrasil last night after work, and then playing against Glare today in tournament. Glare was such an easier matchup. Oh my God, it was night and day how much easier it was to play against Glare.
Like, was his Glare deck complete? Like, it's the first day, and like, also Glare lets you play the longer game.
We're the early release capital of the world, where we get all this stuff. So everybody who was playing new decks, except for me and the other secret guy, had full decks.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is like Yggdrasil's gonna swing at you for like 40-ish. A lot of the times between like 33 and 40 something, and then Glare swinging like 20, 27. It's a lot easier.
That's the issue I found with Glare too. And whenever I can open up with a grade 1 plus Bruno, when I ride, I actually move my starter to the left or right and just put the Bruno there. Because even if you can like put it into the soul when you Legion, look at top 3 and find a Bruno there, you really need that power boost early. You need a strong booster, so I feel like if you have Bruno, that can really help, but like it's Vanguard, it's not going to happen all the time. Plus, it can get retired. So that's kind of like what you need for the power boost, whereas you have Norns, and if you play the stand triggers, you have the stand triggers for Genesis. It's all about surviving that one turn. But it's just, I feel like Glare is also really consistent in getting that off. You have the grade 3 Searcher when you call it, and you have it in your hand, but it's a deadly turn where
the problem with the Bruno thing is, and the reason why I think it's a little underwhelming, is Glare is going to stop you from perfect guarding the Vanguard, so you have to use your triggers to guard it. Even if the Bruno with the boost is making that like a 30k column with triggers, then you just perfect guard the Bruno column.
Yeah,
but a lot of times you can get 30.
It really didn't change that much in the long run. It's 25 you would have dropped on the Bruno, except you're dropping on the Vanguard and perfect guarding the Bruno instead.
Okay, hold on. I want to move on. Mr. Gage, what do you think is going to be played at? And I know you're the leader fan, and we just raped your.
No, it's fine. I Jason does that every day.
Yeah. What do you think is going to be played, and what is going to win at National or World? Sorry.
Of course, the two big ones, Abyss and Thingsaver, which I personally think are terrible, but whatever. I think the leaders will show up just because there'll be some fan boys or girls.
Okay, hold on. I gotta stop. I gotta interrupt because does no one recall Nationals from last year or Worlds? Does anyone?
Nope.
It was
Nope.
9
cheated.
Murakami decks and 1 Nova Grappler deck.
Oh yeah, there was the one Kagura, the one Nova, and then
Yeah, that was it. Sorry, it was 8.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see some form of consistency. But I'm gonna go back to you, Mr. Gage.
And I think Prominence is gonna win it.
Prominence is gonna win. Wow, I'm really shocked hearing this Prominence thing. I didn't think it was that good of a deck.
I don't think the Prominence is what makes the deck. I think the support and the options you have for it is what makes it great.
Yeah,
Agavale's the card.
Agavale's the MVP.
And, I mean, Guinevere's kind of a guaranteed quintet for the people who actually like running them.
I beat a Novell because I Guinevere 4 turns in a row. It was beautiful.
There you
was
go.
so pissed. She was like, this build topped in Japan. I was like, yeah, well, they didn't play Guinevere, bitch.
Apparently not here.
That's crazy.
All right, Prominence Core is gonna win. All right, and the champ. Like, what are you gonna win with? What are you?
Okay.
What deck? I'm not even. I shouldn't even be asking these guys.
I was gonna keep this a surprise from everyone, but I actually really wanted to play Prominence Square.
Hang on.
My hero.
Just that easy, Jonathan.
I was texting my friend earlier, and I was like, hey, so where's World's gonna be at? He's like, I don't really know. But I was like, okay, I might not play Abyss, actually. And he says, what are you gonna play? I'm thinking playing Gold Paladins. And then he's a Gold Paladin player, so he like dropped his shit. And he's like, I dropped my phone, how dare you steal my clan? But like, what are you gonna play? Like, what's your lineup and all? I get my details, but yeah, I've been playing just with Percival, and like, I got my hands on like OCG, the Balin Legion, the one who gets like Legions with Balin, Counterblast 2 if you have 4 or more of your cards, because 5 can't
The better Tetra.
And it's been really consistent, and my friend goes, imagine this was just Core and Glare, or just Percival Glare, or like whatever you want to do it, and I was just like, it'll be so good, I kind of want to play it. But watch me lose to Revengers, because that's
you know what, like, I'm always been a firm believer, play what you love, you know,
You're taken out by the one person playing the leaders.
Stop that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
That was Gradelock that hurt me. That wasn't anything big. Just Gradelock. I'm
So
going to
Carlos,
assist
let's
all
be
over
real.
your ass next year.
So you're actually playing Aqua Force at Worlds, but you're just throwing them off with the Glare play. So they won't play Glenio, so you can
Don't tell him about the rush, dog. That's a
my bad, bro.
Spike Brothers.
The guy in Japan who's watching this right now, I'm just trying to tell him that, you know.
He can't have a fan dust.
Prominence Glare is his buddy.
The guy in Japan and the one guy in like the UK, they're never gonna know what I'm gonna play.
They're gonna translate this podcast so they can figure it all out.
It's like really horrible subs.
Oh, Buddy Fight good.
Oh, buddy, sorry.
Jonathan, did you mute the chat?
No, I did not. I'm hearing that that's what's going on right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to fix that while we guys continue. Let's go on into our next topic and talk about the new... they come out with the comprehensive rules. And, of course, everyone flips their shit saying Singsaber can re-Legion on Legion. And I want to know what you guys' thoughts on that. I mean, like, that was the right move to make, right? Like, stopping... stopping that re-Legion and constantly getting more getting more cards back in the deck, right?
I don't think they meant for it to do that. So yeah.
I think it was very good.
Smart, but shit, I wish they didn't do that. It was smart.
I think it was the right move. It was like
I was sad.
It was like their reasoning for banning Conroe, because in Japan everyone was playing Novell. So they're like, hey, in Japan everyone's playing Thingsaver Abyss. Let's just ban that too. Or no, not really ban it, but limit the deck.
No,
So
I
you can't
don't
really
think that's
return
the same
like
thing as Conroe
triggers.
Novell.
But now you can play Alfred instead of like Abyss.
You can play Alfred now. I think it's
That's
fine.
not the same as Conroe Novell, though. Conroe Novell was like a restriction on what you can use based on what people were doing. This was like, hey, we kind of messed up on a game mechanic. I'm going to patch it.
Yeah.
They kind of messed up on Conroe too.
Yeah,
We didn't clarify this.
Then it's like the Conroe Novell thing. If they tell us we can't make Thing Abyss, then that's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm running Alfred now. I'm not even gonna make a
That's all
bit.
unanimous.
Alfred's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Except for one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What does Alfred do?
He gains a critical.
31 and a crit.
And 1,000
Counterblast 2, call someone.
for every seeker.
Hold on a second, guys. If you're playing, I did get the chat back up and running.
Okay.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
control.
I actually see some people wanting to make Alfred Wingle, which I guess works if you want a plus, but I don't see there really being a definite game finisher besides sitting on Alfred.
But
I
like,
don't know.
what I did a lot for today was I put the Gringo behind Alfred, and then it was just an easy 31k column. And even if they like ate a hit early game, then I got to unflip the damage that I just used to get a free card, and I get to cycle a card from my hand back into my deck and get something new if I had like a dead card in hand, because it counts as Blast of Blade being on the Vanguard.
Yeah. It is kind of nice. Yeah, it is kind of nice if you have 3 counterblasts and you counterblast 2 for what is it called in English? Gildus. That counterblast 1 when you Legion Superior Gall, and that gets you the Gloongle if you don't have it already. So that's kind of nice.
Why do you need 3 counterblasts?
Counterblast 2 for the card, and the card's effect is when you Legion counterblast 1 call a card.
No, I'm not talking him. I'm talking Alfred's moon effect says counterblast 2 to call something.
Yeah, that's not what I was saying. If you have 3, you can call that guy.
I mean,
because it's not a Legion effect. You can do it before you Legion.
Yeah.
Gildus?
Yeah,
Gildas is when you Legion. Alfred you can
Gildus says
counterblast 2
you
before
counterblast
Legioning.
1.
Yes.
Alfred you can do before, yeah.
Oh no, but yeah. So that's kind of
Alright.
nice.
So the overall feeling though across the board is it was the best thing to do is to stop the red Legioning effect, because also going forward we'll have Metal Borgs in January, which had the same. I actually don't think the skill why they were freaking out is that good, but they did it across the board. So nothing in Soul or nothing in Drop allow you to Legion at like what, turn 2?
Turn 2, yeah.
Oh,
if you get it.
Yeah, but still, like that skill is ridiculous. So, you
wouldn't be saying that if they had the Neo deck version.
No, but you know, I'm all about balance. I'm all about being fair, and
I'm pretty stoked that the maidens are the.
But here's the thing:
Sephiroth.
even before they made the rules, no one was doing that effect. Like everyone was still running Die Kaiser Metalborg.
Yeah.
Like it was like
I have it right next to me.
ride.
It's like right there. I love it.
I think the biggest thing with why they did that, you know, and I say this all the time. We follow Japan so closely. I'm telling you, and this is the next part of the comprehensive rule. I'm telling you, like a week something, the day the set comes out, they're gonna go clan restriction. They're gonna just stop everyone from playing mixed decks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to play my. Yeah, I want to play my Susanna in my imaginary plane, but because of all you freaking people with your Sing Saber Abyss and whatnot, that's not gonna happen.
I'm sorry.
Kind of Blast 2, Trilog, Soul Blast 2 to unflip the 2. Next turn, just go over. I mean, there's so many possibilities, but at the same time, it really, really, like, you can make some broken stuff sometimes. And it just gives decks this edge that they weren't meant to have, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how the creators think about it, but I guess they would design it to where you'd run the same clan. So you'd incorporate it.
I don't understand why they even got rid of the Lord ability. Like,
I think
why
there's
Safe text? I don't know.
You don't want to make it complex.
No, it's not. Yeah.
you guys
I just forgot about it.
Yeah, and then they saw it and they're like, wow, we fucked up.
Yeah.
As soon as they take the text away, you know, people destroy the game.
Well, you got to think about it in this
People get
respect. You had to know going into it, Bushi Road, that there are cards that obviously do very well with each other. There are obviously cards that don't have any vanilla text. Like, shit was gonna happen. Like, I can understand why it was bound to happen.
I think they just don't review the cards very well. I mean, that's pretty obvious from all the errors that Master
Secret's not a Shadow Paladin?
Intern do all the translating.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, you guys are flying people out to Japan. Spend a little money on getting a good translator. Like, send an American.
It's not even a translator. Get somebody who knows how to speak English to read the card.
I can guarantee you, Ogle was supposed to be Ogre, but they thought it was an L.
Ogle.
Robert's watching that. They were talking about Ogle. But here's the thing. How do you screw up, though, Shadow Paladin, Royal Paladin, Shadow Paladin?
Right?
And they showed it on their.
It's not even like in Singapore. It's a different language. In Singapore, they speak English.
But I don't. That's a clan thing. That's at the bottom of the card. Like, you don't even translate it. It's like, oh, Shadow Paladin. Like we're just gonna go fuck it all out the door.
Yeah, and even if you know the game,
Shadow Paladin, are just like, no one's gonna notice.
I just don't. I just think for a company that's got 3 card games going on at one time, they could find someone who can translate the shit.
I've seen the White Force.
Have 3 going on.
Well, like, I don't understand why they don't have just one person like fact check it. Like, just read through all the cards. It takes probably like an hour, and they don't have this happen.
I get paid to do that. That's fucking awesome.
And Jonathan,
And
it's
maybe
4 card game. They've added a card game. It's not 3 anymore.
Interns.
It's
Maybe in the
what's the
next set
4th
they'll
one?
accent.
5 cross.
Yeah, 5 cross.
Oh yeah.
Is that the wrestling one or is that the?
No, they make it's another Bushiroad game. There's actually a Vanguard set in that game. It's
That's
like
right.
kind of thing.
I can't even hear.
You play with like inspired characters.
Yeah, if it ever came here and they had that set, that's the only reason why I'd even play it, just for that set.
Hey man,
Just
if there's waifus in it, you gotta play it.
That's what Weiss is for, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the more waifus, the better, right?
Weiss waifu.
Okay. All right. Why we're on the Japanese and their craziness? Let's go to the next topic of their proposed idea for a standard format. I'm not going to say much.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go to each person and ask you what you guys think of it. I see Carlos just shaking his head. Like
You're talking about the rotation, right?
not rotation. They're just saying from generation on, this is all you're allowed to play.
No.
And then we will have a legacy, a modern version. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna each of you are gonna get your chance to talk about this because I do want to hear. I've heard good, bad, ugly, mostly ugly. And let's talk about that real quick. Let's start with Carlos. Carlos, what do you think about the standard rotation?
I think it's horrible. You should not do it.
No, okay. No, I should say. Let's just say this is happening for Japan only.
I still think it's well. I don't really know what it's like over there. I don't know the market. I don't know the player base.
Well,
but
obviously they love Dote.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they.
He literally just won't die.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's a good idea. What I like about Vanguard is like again like you get to play like the clan you like the most, and I think like if you're gonna force people to like have to buy more stuff and all that, I think it's a bad idea. I just think it's a generally bad idea. I mean, like I go to regionals and I see people playing like classic Alfred and still getting pretty far. Like that, like I want to see that happening. Like I want to see like Vanguard evolve into such a great game in the future that one random kid who is like, just on a budget, who if Phantom Blaster Abyss will be budget, will like play Phantom Blaster Abyss and we're like, oh my god, that card's so old and he does really well. Like I want to see things like that in the future for Vanguard.
Spectral Duke 16 crit.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
All right. Thank you, Gage. Your thoughts on the standard?
Okay, so if it's like how you were saying where they were going to have different types of tournaments, I won't mind it. But if they're going to make us play that way, then they better be able to pay out like other games to do it, like Magic.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah.
I lost $500
So
because I got
with
double
that
crit.
being said, I think it's probably a bad idea at this point during their company franchise.
Okay. Mr. Gall, your thoughts on the standard format?
I think this is the worst idea they've had since the Brown Zero bullcrap they pulled. Wow, no. First off, they need to fix their normal tournaments before they branch out into like other kinds.
Agreed.
There's so many fucking problems. 2 out of 3. And just also, like they said, forcing people to buy new sets onward and just invalidating all the cards that came before is just ridiculous. That's so. I hate it. I just hate it.
Agreed. That cricket.
Jonathan has his mic muted, so someone needs to take over.
All right, who's after Jonathan?
I think it's me.
Go, Donnie.
Oh, okay.
You're after Jonathan.
Sure, I guess. I think the main point, like really defining point of Vanguard is that you can use old cards as text, and they're like, hey, that's a pretty good card. I don't really have an example for it, but use like with Kagro decks, you're gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna use like set 1 bar. Like 8K vanilla, set 1, guys. It's good, right?
Pellinor. Run Pellinor.
Yeah, run. Anyways, I just think it's really like Cat Butler. It was like extra boost. Cat Butler was like extra booster 1 or something, and people were like, "Hey, Cat Butler, you can stand a grade 2, right? Why not just stand like the mate? You stand the whole Vanguard. It's so good." So yeah, I think it's really a bad idea if they try to just do the formats and stuff. The end.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
The end.
Me? Okay. I feel like, as has been said, like the way they make their game, like cards basically.
God damn it, Mason.
What is wrong?
Just looked at the screen.
So new cards push old cards out. So there's no real point to have stuff like that, and everything pushes Aquaforce out. So there's no point in like having these new sets. Now, if you want to have like multiple tournaments, I don't think it's big enough in America to have the split format. It might be big enough in Japan, but there's nothing really to be gained from it because like in Magic's reason, it was just getting too complex, and the barrier to entry was there. Like people weren't getting into it as much as easily. So here it isn't the same thing. Like there's a lot of things going on. I think complexity will be the thing that kills any card game. Too much complexity, but I don't think we're at that point yet. Maybe in like 3 or 4 years.
It's still a pretty bland game, yeah.
Question for you: are you enjoying your trip in Venice?
Yeah, it's quite great here. I'm looking for Aquaforce players. I just can't seem to find anyone. I thought this would be the place to go.
They're underwater.
They're under. Oh, hang on. I'll go find them.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Matt. What are your thoughts on Standard?
To Antarctica.
Apparently, the reason I'm here is because I made a topic a while ago, and it was like, hey, this happened. If it happened here, what would you do? And then people are like, it's not going to happen. And then other people are like, it's going to happen. And then back and forth, back and forth. There was a huge freaking argument about it. But I don't think it's going to happen. I actually don't even think there's a chance. Because I think it can come here, but it's not going to be the main format. Because if we look at the reasoning for the standard format, it was anything, the new trial decks plus GBTO1 and above for new players. And that gets rid of stuff like, gets rid of Limit Break, I think. And they kept Legion. I know Gear Chronicle got a Legion. But it pretty much limits the complexity for the new players. So it just kind of introduced them into it. Oh, yeah. And I feel like that's all it really is. It's just an introduction. I don't see how they could possibly just hit every card in the game, like, beforehand, before a certain point. And that gets rid of triggers.
If I may.
Staples. Yeah, what's up?
I agree with them, because if they're going to keep introducing all this support for newer stuff, or excuse me, for older stuff, why would they eliminate half of their sales?
Yeah, I mean, I already...
Plus half of their...
Yeah, I talked about this. If they do this, and I can't use my freaking Laurel again, then I quit. I'm going to play one deck for a tournament, because winning is nice. But besides that, I probably just go to buddy fight.
Let's ban Laurel, right? Let's get started.
If they actually hit Laurel and nothing else, I would do this.
Matt, I'm with you.
I just don't see how they could do that. Don't think it's gonna happen.
What about standard format?
Just what about it?
No, Thomas. Sharp. Oh. Sorry, his thoughts.
So, I kind of agree with the idea that Matt just said, where it might just be like a how they used to do the flash decks for like intro games to get people used to it. They might have like some kind of introductory campaign thing that you might go around with. How they did that in California when the game first started, and I guess they did their own version of it over in Asia and stuff. They might do something like that. I don't think it's a good idea to start breaking the game up into the different formats yet when they still don't even have a set format for the events. Like every regional is following a different set of rules. Like there's no consistency right now. So I don't think you can keep breaking things down when like the competitive. Why would you put restrictions on competitive play when all the competitive players are kind of still hanging on, waiting for what's available to get better? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well.
And you'd also be eliminating or alienating a lot of your player base by limiting the clans you can play without having access to all the clans.
The biggest thing that when you look at like when they talk even remote, I don't even like someone just said a post or Matt, do you remember what it was? It was like it's just a post or it was just like a flavored text almost worth of stuff that just said, hey, we might be doing this.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like they have this in Japan. And it's not even the standard there. But if it did become the standard, What would you do? That's it. That's all I asked. And everybody was like, it's not gonna happen. Rada, 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 rubble. That's not gonna solve anything. Well, too bad. Rubble. And just this mass of just arguments just poured through. I think one was with like, what was it, Austin Summers and Alex Fanman, I think, but they just like went at it like.
Well, and that's like when you hear.
No, that was
like,
the other one.
When you hear about like.
But yeah.
When you think about, we're all talking about it. Well, like, why are they still producing limit break enablers? Like, why would that even be a concept?
Yeah.
Like, if they're gonna do a standard,
they're awesome.
actually don't call it a standard format. Call it a generation format. All right. So here's what you do. Only things 1 GB, whatever it is, on, and that's a side event. That's not even like the whole freaking deal.
Yeah.
And because the decks
could be to win 'em that.
they're prizing on, they're the ones that they're like, oh my god, this is so good, is the X. So you take that card out of Generation Booster 1, you're like, what's good now? Like, what is actually going to be relevant? What card is going to be relevant to, you know, what is going to make people want to play that format? Like, why would you even want to do it?
Wait. Here's I have a question.
Yeah.
If they did that, how would you even use the cross? Because wouldn't you have to?
You couldn't use it. It's not a viable card. The thing that they really are trying to push in the mind of everyone right now is I Generation Ride and I Stride. It's like, so a card like that would just lose all of its purpose. Like, there's no reason to have it in the set. So what would be a prominent card is now a very cheap and inexpensive card. So, I mean, they're stopping their sales, like we've already said. And it's like, why are they doing all these revival unit campaigns? Like, they're still doing them to a degree. I mean, we're expecting the Vermilion to be announced here soon. So, like, why are we even caring if they're just going to go into standard format? I think it's the biggest troll Bushiroad could actually ever do. And
maybe that's
say,
their plan.
But okay, if they did that, everyone would leave the game. Like, I feel like there's only so many people who want to sit there and play OTT, Nova Grappler, Kagero, Gear Chronicle.
This sounds great to me.
Nova Grappler all day.
Yeah, but Nova Grappler is one of those decks. Like, and again, like I don't know why this didn't do in that tournament that the Axe topped in. That deck is super scary. Like, I don't like it's. They always make the
deeply set of whatever's in the extra booster.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, the X...
I mean, just the fact that
people are giving it too much credit. The reason X is popular right now over there is because everybody's playing the new Perfect cards. And
God, they're so good, though.
Unflip that damage.
So it exploits the flaw in everybody's defense in the meta over there right now because they're all playing the new one flippers. X can just swing at a rear guard and get a free restand because you can't defend it. Where then, after the restand later on, you can attack with the X if you want to pop their field because you know they're going to perfect guard. Like, it totally messes up. It plays through the flaw or the hole in the design for the perfect.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you, Thomas, and we're going to talk about the X. Because I want to talk about it. It will be brought back up. I want to finish off. Cross X, Sing Saber, Sing Saber. It's to me.
Salt Saber.
All I care about is when it's released in English and I can call it Ogle instead of Ogre. So.
Draconic Overlord. This is the.
It's
Draconic Overlord, the Salt Saber.
What if they put an actual cross, like the Christian symbol, on Draconic Overlord in America?
They would never do it.
That'd be great, though.
That'd
be awesome. It's so funny. So, like, right there.
No, he just needs a Jesus fish.
He's Jesus. He just
tramp Jesus fish.
But Draconic Overlord is Jesus. He just never dies. It's just how.
Okay, so Johnny, thank you for like saying that because the other day I made the list of like what days all the clans had their holidays.
Yeah.
And I said Christmas Day was Kagero Day.
I came up with
okay? Like, that's the day Jesus was born. Like, why do people even argue with this? He just doesn't die. And not only that, but, like, the Kagero gets more support than anyone now. Went from being hated from, like, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11 it came back. And then 11 it was, like, the ugly stepchild. And then we went actually and made it back.
That was worse than Aquaforce. Seal Drag, worse than Aquaforce.
Set 11 had the best Aquaforce support.
That's probably true.
It really was.
Set 11? Set 13.
By far the best Aquaforce deck. Because why? 3 attacks. 3 attacks. Not this 4 crap. I don't even know. We're just rambling now.
I'm in Alaska.
Oh, we're talking about standard. Oh, what's going? We talked about it briefly, but let's talk about resist. Why we're on Kagero, actually. I'm gonna open this up. You guys just give your general thoughts on this, and we'll start with Carlos again. We'll start right at the end of the.
Should we say what resist is for people who don't know?
Yes, we shall. Actually, does anyone have the official writing on this? I want to look this up.
You say no to Kagero.
Check the wiki.
No, Kagero, stop.
The writing that just says flip the bird to the Glendios players.
Because it was really funny because I brought this up and someone's like, "What is resist?" And I'm like, "No one read that new Aquaforce unit. Apparently, they are not that good." Mason Clark.
They're real bad.
Resist. Official definition, because it is.
Vive la resistance.
Which prevents a unit from being chosen by the effect of your opponent's cards. So they cannot be retired, they cannot be locked, they cannot be targeted, and that includes the rear guard, the vanguard, or the guardian circle. So, which is funny then, Daikaiser can't hit.
Yep, no, we can't.
Give me a whole. Can I have triggers that have resist, please? So we only know one card. It's being introduced into Generation Booster 2, Soaring Beauty.
Resist guard.
Yeah. So
resist.
What is your thoughts on resist, Mr. Carlos?
I think I don't like it, actually. I'm actually, well, actually, you know what? I'm very iffy about it. I'm like, it's kind of like you can't do shit to my shit. But okay. I think that just hinders a lot of decks. Like, oh, I can't lock it. I mean, like the way I see it, all Link Joker does is lock. Like nothing else is too special about it.
But also notice that cards now are being a little more vague in as far as targeting or not.
Yeah.
I mean, like, someone asked about, there's a prediction that says once you retire a unit in the same row, retire the other one.
Neoflame.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neoflame still works. But is anyone going to play that card is the question.
Yeah, you play it in the cross. It's good.
Key.
Oh, you do? I see. I got that far yet.
Yeah, no, I
play New York too.
Yeah, I don't care much for it. Like, if my opponent has to, if my opponent plays it, then I just have to play around it. That's just how it is. Yeah, I'm indifferent about it, to be honest. Very indifferent.
Okay. We gotta see what it does. We gotta see.
Yeah, it's still fairly new, and we don't even know like what cards are getting it. So that's like that one Aquaforce card.
So it's like the otter from Great Nature, kind of.
Oh.
Yeah. It's neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess Aquaforce
all right,
might
Mr.
actually
Gage.
Okay.
Wow, no comment, Mason?
What's up? What's up? I didn't even hear my name.
He said because of resist, they might actually be good, Aquaforce.
Classic. Back to you. They're not going to be good. You don't fix the clan by making them not die. They need to do something that's actually relevant.
I think that helps fix their rush.
I mean, maybe, but I'll just kill off the other units that don't have resist. If this is the only card that has resist, everything else can die.
For now.
For now, sure. They have that and a grade 1, I don't care. You can give all the cards resist.
And then isn't the one with resist out of one of the sets for Aquaforce, or was it in a general one?
Do
we know?
Set 2, no, right?
I don't follow.
No, it's set 2. It's the Legion method.
Soaring Beauty.
2.
Oh.
I don't think the trial deck is going to get any resist units. Because it's saying introduced.
Aquaforce. That's the best I got.
Anything else, Mr. Gage? Anything?
Oh, about resist?
Yeah.
I agree with Carlos. I want to see how it plays first. As long as they don't continue adding stuff along those lines, because then the next one will be like, I don't know, trap cards.
Oh no!
You said it in the Guardian Circle.
That's exactly what I would think. Yeah.
I just play Gores.
I drop Valor on your.
Yeah, they'll do more quick effects. They already have 1, 2,
All right.
3.
All right, Mr. Gall. Thoughts on resist?
I think it's interesting, actually. Like they said, I think it depends on what we end up, what units we end up getting with it, and how many. I mean, if it's like each clan has one with resist, then who cares? We're at best case scenarios, you get to troll Glendios players. But
yeah, no more World War.
But if we get
no.
but if we get like a bunch of mates with them, then they invalidate Blaster Joker, or if we get multiple units with them, they could actually be really useful. There's lots of clans that just rely on having rear guards. I can't tell you how many times I wish Laurel had resist. That's what I wish.
Oh my God!
Now we're talking.
Can we not sack it?
Oh, all right, Donnie. Thoughts on resist?
Well, I didn't play like the little. I played Nova Grappler. I started with Nova Grappler, of course, and I had a friend who taught me the game. He was playing Kagura. I was like, dang, there's really nothing I can do against this. I wish I had rear guards or something that just resisted his retire. And so I think on paper it's really good for like Aqua Force or just Nova Grappler rear guard decks, even other decks of course. But I think we need to, like Carlos said, we need to see it play out a little more. Because it on paper it looks really good for those decks, but it could be broken or something, we don't know. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Let's see here. Man, I'm really afraid to ask him.
Ask me.
I don't even know it. Like, are you okay? So is the blanket real or is the blanket?
This is an actual blanket. It's 20 degrees here. I'm freezing. And also, I'm looking for Aqua Force.
Fucking Alps. Like, go.
Looking for more Aqua Force players.
What if the water froze, man? You don't know.
Exactly. I'm on the hunt for Aqua Force players here.
So tell me what your thoughts on resist are.
So I think resist is a cool thing that needs to be like an evergreen mechanic that every clan gets. That way, like, you can kind of nerf Kagura and stuff, and like maybe you can create new interesting cards around it. But what I hear from this is there's gonna be more Aqua Force players, which means more free wings, which is cha-ching. So that's all I
He was finding that out.
I had it set up for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't think it makes that big a difference. I don't think the new Aqua Force Legion's that good, like comparative to some of the other cards we've seen. So
yeah,
it's a step in the right direction.
Okay. So, Mr. Matt, what do you think of resist?
Resist. It's not made to be broken. It's not made to be overpowering. It's just made to help a clan that gets fucked if you focus their rear guards. I feel like it helps because you can attack. The Legion will let you move around your units, put it in the back, and now you can't attack it, and you shouldn't be able to retire with effects. So I just feel like it's just giving them a minor boost, just to help them do what they're meant to do. Because
so you focused on Aqua Force, but what do you think it'll do for like other clans?
if other clans get it, I don't know how much it would actually do.
Notice the clans that did get it,
Great
or
nature
notice the
is
clans
good.
that could get it. Look, I mean, like if you think about anything that's in set 2, look at the clans compared to set 1 to compared to set 2. You know what I mean? Like you have Nova Grappler Kagura, you have OTT. Like they're kind of like one of those like not main clan decks, but they're the ability definitely to have the ability to replenish their field easily compared to Great Nature, Neonectar, Aqua Force. Like I think the resist is coming out of the right set.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not something that's meant to be broken. If every clan got it, I guess that would be nice. But like you said, there are some clans that just like, oh, hey, look, I'm Gold Paladin, Aglovale. I mean, hey, you know, I can replenish my field fairly easy in comparison.
It'd become a really nice coaster.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I just
all
really
of them.
don't think it would be necessary. Like, if they gave it to Gold Paladin, I don't know if I'd. I mean, meh. Hey, I got it, but it's whatever, really.
I don't think it's that big a deal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we've had other things happen. We won't change up too much unless they design around it. Oh no!
I think if everybody got it, Kagura would be pissed. Because
We'll
Perdition.
just restamp our Vanguard.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to play Perdition Newt, like, for example, Perdition Newt with the new Stride, where the Stride lets you counter a blast and retire the column when you Stride, and you keep your name, and they get a card that says, I think you Soul Blast 1, when it's called in a column where there are no rear guards, look at the top 5 for the persona of your Vanguard. So you look at the top 5 for a Newt, which was set up for next turn. They have combos like that to where if every clan had resist, it would just knock that totally out. Any Kagura deck focused on retiring. Like, sure, you can have Overlord the Great or something like that, or the X, I guess, would still make sense. Not every unit would have resist, but I feel like it would hurt Kagura if a lot of clans got it. If not a lot of clans got it, then it wouldn't really matter as much.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to what's here. Thomas. Thoughts on resist?
I think it's only gonna like kind of matter. Like if you're playing dragons and your opponent has like a booster with resist, and then you can just pop the other booster and then attack another unit. Like you just kill something else. It guarantees that you're gonna keep a card on board, but unless your entire field has resist, then you're still not really that safe.
Okay.
I don't think it matters that much.
Well, no, that'd be interesting, actually. A unit where you could be like Counterblast 2, give your field resist for the turn or something like that.
But that would be.
But that wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter
It would
during
be
the
activated
attack.
on your own turn, so it wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Do it on your opponent's turn.
Well, I mean, like they
No,
Counterblast 2 on your opponent's turn.
You're hoping
Yeah.
to find its counter in that situation. So like, then your card does nothing.
Well, and then
2 on
the
your
problem is
opponent's turn to
if
give
you're
your field
playing
resist.
that Kagero unit, your deck is no longer focused on the X as it is focused on.
Key.
I mean, like it
Cross.
just changes. Yeah, it changes a little bit. The thing with again, I'm gonna turn this back all around to Neonectar. When you have the ability, like if anyone's seen the new unit, that gives everything on the field with the same name 5,000, and resist is out there.
Barbaros.
That's a really good ability, especially when you can call units from the deck. When you stride, you can copy. I think like a deck like Neonectar, again, even if it's not my clan, having that ability to get those units, I think is a huge advantage. Like, you can't be retired. You'd have to have a very specific build. We don't even know what the Narukami is going to do. So, like, I think there's a lot of things that are going to be very scary, but I think resist is that balance factor. I think, again, if you really want to run that over something else, and they do have other effects, like it's resist and something. So, like, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. Okay, you get resist, you don't get resist. Oh, the special 12k attacker gets resist. So, there could be a little bit of mixing in there.
I think the problem with that whole Neonectar thing is that Ultimal does the same thing that the Neonectar guy does. So,
Which one?
Ultimal, the Royal Paladin guy, he gives the front
yeah.
row +5 too.
I thought about that too.
And it doesn't have to be
front
this.
row, though.
It just gives the front row +5.
It does, but
Yeah,
then
but this
Neonectar,
could be
you
a
have the
booster.
potential.
This could be anything.
To have 10K.
Well, it doesn't matter if the booster gets the 5 or the attacker gets the 5. It's still going to increase
But
the
you can make
But
one
they could both get 5.
Thing,
They could both get 5, though. Is
But you could have a whole
Then
field
it
of
says the same
10,000.
name for 5, so you can't give it to one column. I guess unless you're going to put two 10k attacking grade 1s in one column, but then your field's going to be kind of wonky the whole game.
Yeah.
But it's the units that have the same name. So if your front two have the same units and your back two have the same units, that's a 10k column right there.
It doesn't only affect grade 1s, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, it affects.
No, that's not what I'm
everything.
saying. I'm saying if you have a column that's made with units of the same name, it has to be
They don't need to be in the same column.
grade 1s to be worth it.
They don't have to be in the same column. It's if it's on the
No,
field.
I think
I'm just saying,
resist is good
otherwise,
for the game.
if they're off to the side, then it's still a +5 boost. It's the same thing as Ultimile.
Yeah, unless you have 2, though. It's the
That's what
potential.
I'm saying. Unless your field is perfect.
Right.
But they
Difficult.
make the
Right.
ability to do that, though. They really do. They have the ability to make a perfect field.
Yeah, but that means that it will have to last for more than one turn. Like your opponent will have nothing.
Yeah, but that's why we have resist.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is just easier to do with stride.
enable the card.
Stride's going to
Only
make it a lot
protected from effects. You can still attack
But
them.
not only that, but their starting Vanguard also allows you to find out a copy of something that's on the field, grade 2 or lower. That new stand trigger also allows you to add more power to one of your rear guards
So good.
for having the same name. 2 units, actually, I apologize. So,
But it's a
think
lot
there's
of work
lot
to do what another deck can do easier, is what I'm saying.
I don't feel like
What's another deck besides Ultima? Because Ultima.
That's the deck I was talking about.
No, he's saying besides that.
Another
he must
deck.
have
Yeah,
known
besides that.
one.
I said another deck.
Okay, because I mean Ultima can do the front row 5k.
Yeah.
If you're on Ultima, I mean.
No, even when
having-
you stride over it, you call something from hand and then give units +5.
For that turn, and that would have to mean
And then
that
on
you
your
had to
next
have those
turn, it
cards in your
happens
hands. Yeah, but
Next
you'd have to
turn,
have those
yeah.
cards in your hand during that turn, and it's still
You
kind
don't
of
have
boss
cards in your
heavy.
hand during Vanguard. If you don't have cards in your hand for Vanguard, you lose.
But are they always going to be grade 2s?
You don't have
Or-
to call grade 2.
not
You're
Trill.
just
You
going
can
to
be
call a
sacking.
trigger out there?
You can call anything you want. It doesn't have to be grade 2.
I don't
Right,
feel the
but
decks
it's
are
not gonna be
similar
that
by
much.
any means. I feel that there's
No.
a very different advantage. Again, we've only seen 3 cards compared to what one deck that I feel has not as great synergy because it doesn't feel like that deck is going to do well until they get more support.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm a
I
clown.
own Ultima. I mean, it's
Roll that
okay.
a lot of support.
It focuses way too much on grade 2s, in my opinion, though. I don't know. It just.
Vanguard.
All right. Well, we're gonna finish up on the X, but I want to do a giveaway tournament thing. I don't even know what you want to call it, a contest. Those who are watching,
I'm a Genesis player.
yeah, I know you are. You should get off the stream and actually no.
Can I?
What we're gonna do, guys? I have posted in 2 of the major groups. There is a photo of my Team 2XC logo. What I want you to do is make sure you're subscribing to this channel. Next, I want you to go on there and tell me one thing you want for Christmas this year. It's so simple. So simple. And all you have to do is make sure you subscribe and comment. What will happen is your names will be put in a randomizer after the end of the week. What ends up happening at the end of the week, I'll do a randomization. Whoever ends up getting randomized wins the map. Pretty simple. I'm going to keep it pretty simple.
Can I go into it?
What's that?
You
know what? You guys can go ahead and enter all you want. I do not care. You guys can.
I already know what I'm gonna play.
I'm entering.
Throw your.
Go
That's for Christmas.
That's
Don't ruin my dream.
I want to get a second 2XC, Matt.
I don't even
All I
know.
want for Christmas is 2XC, Matt. That's what I'm gonna play.
You go on, subscribe to this channel. You comment on those photos, saying what the one thing you want for Christmas. All right, that is all I need in order to enter you and make sure you win.
Also, can I do that plug before you cut the whole thing off?
It's not
Oh
done
yeah,
yet.
we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We got. I've saved the best for last.
What's
I
that?
have saved the best for last. We're gonna talk about the cross, the X, the rebirth, whatever you want to call it.
So the word.
Okay, so. Wow, I got a drum roll.
Boom.
Who's a Kagero player in here?
I am.
Not me.
Me.
I stopped playing it.
All right, stop playing it. Is that card? What's the word I want to like? Is it really worth it? Like, is it? I mean, like, you guys feel like that is the best. You feel like the best if you were giving Doge or Rebirth.
I would play.
Rebirth, Dote and the Cross.
Doge.
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 What is a Doge?
Doge. Much for birth. Much for tire.
I go for great.
Wow.
The X is better,
like,
probably. Like,
the X is better?
most of the time.
I don't think.
I think most of the time, yeah.
I
think you
think
play
the
both.
X is only better because it has the end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you can't say, like, it's only better because of X. Well,
Alright.
that's about
I'm
it's only
a
because
big
of
anti-X
something.
person, so
Part of
can I go on a little rant?
I mean, sure.
Alright, so the thing that X does is if it doesn't hit, it pops 2, and if then it hits, you get a chance to restand, right? So
Correct.
the thing is that if you play Perdition, it does the exact same thing without relying on what your opponent's going to do. Because Vortex, for the same cost that it would be for the Persona Blast to pop with the X, you don't have to hit, you can just pop 2 and deal a non-triggerable damage. For the Great, he stands up on his own cheaper and more consistently. And if you want to play the Strides with it, then you can also pop 2 easier than you would be able to with the X. Like, it's totally the Perdition Stride deck doesn't care what your opponent does. It's going to do what it wants to do to win. But the X relies on your opponent. And if your opponent's playing old perfect cards, it's going to be hard to trigger your effects. So it's like, it sounds awesome, but it's one of those things that I think it sounds better or will do better against people that just don't know how to play against it. Whereas if you're a good player and you're playing a Perdition deck with Stride, you don't really care who you're playing against because you're going to outplay them.
I feel like you can play them with the X too.
It does the exact. The two decks do the exact same thing, but
Oh, I thought the exact same thing. You hate one or the other, just let them play the one they want.
Yeah, I feel like the difference is it turns it into a lose-lose for your opponent.
But that means that you care about what your opponent does, and that means that you're allowing them to do something. With straight Perdition, you don't care what they do. You don't rely on their side of luck versus your side of luck. You're gonna do. It affects what you're gonna do when you want. You don't care about triggers are extra at that point.
What you're gonna do when the cross comes for you.
That makes sense, but I wouldn't say they're the same thing because they're actually really, really different.
The restand effect is in both decks, and the pop 2 effect is in both decks.
But is it on the same card?
It's
on the same card.
But it's whatever you want it to be.
But the X can attack.
Yeah, but it can't
stand.
do one or the other at the same time. It's you get to pick one.
Yeah, like Thomas, like I think a big thing is there have been mini games where I won where like I attack them, they're at 3 damage, and I restand with the X because they couldn't guard it, and if they couldn't guard the first one, they probably the second one, unless they were just banking not having the end. So
sometimes when you're playing into the end though, you just eat the hit. Like let them use their counterblast up. You don't have to worry about it later. Like,
But you don't have to.
I don't understand what, honestly, like, in my area, like, the end's never really been that scary.
Well, I mean, the card didn't have as long a period as it did in Japan. Like, it's completely different. Our meta was way different, so. And the card is good. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm just saying that it gets, for English format, it gets way too much hype than it deserves. And you can play a much more consistent deck with Tradition.
Well, I mean, Aqua gets way too much hype than it deserves. Like, people like the clans they like. Like, in no other game is it like this patching enough stuff.
You can just, instead of Persona blasting on a restand or whatever, you can just blast them with Vortex, destroy 2 of their cards, and deal them a damage, putting them at 4. Now they can't eat your Legion attack. And the Vortex will gain 6k from popping 2 things. So it's going to be 26 on boost. You can swing 30-something. It's either they have a perfect card or they eat the attack and lose to a crit.
Well, that's just when you get the crit. Like, you're the one who earlier said you don't get everything all the time, so
I'm not
that's
saying,
not going to happen. Like, part of the X's consistency is you search the card you need.
Vortex is a Persona blast either way. So either way, we're assuming that you have another copy of the card that you need in hand. So that's exactly the same.
Well, no, but the X searches a copy. That's a big difference.
So you
like,
can
yes, it is.
Okay, but searches a copy too. And Vortex,
also, like you said, the X is playing on a metagame with the perfect
and it works with the 12 attackers.
Whoa, guys, hold on. Also, there's like a mob in here. I don't even know where to begin. Like, Mason and Thomas are having this. I feel like we should all leave the room.
What's wrong?
No. I want. Who's talking?
What?
Who wants to talk about the X other than Thomas and Mason right now? Donnie, tell me about the X.
All right.
Hold on, I want to know. Do you feel it is OP as the Japanese are making it to be right now?
Nope. Just don't play the new perfect cards and you win the end. Well, not really win, but just don't play the new perfect cards. Like, that's just. I honestly think that's just the answer. Just don't play the new perfect cards. It's just the answer, guys.
What if I want to win? Do I play the new perfect card?
You play the old perfect card.
Play the old perfect card.
All right.
That's it. That's all I think about.
That's all you got. All right. Let's go to Matt. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the cross?
I think it's good. I don't think it's as OP as people are saying. I also think it's really weird because, like I said, it takes 2 different things of Kagero and puts them together, and it gives you options based on what your opponent does. And you can easily compare it to Newton the Great. But I don't know. I mean, it's not the best thing ever. It's not majorly better than both of those decks. It's just some other option that they threw in that I think people could take advantage of if they like that playstyle. I mean, it's really not bad. It's not OP. I'd say it's still pretty good, but
yeah,
there are better options.
You know, the funny thing is, like the moment the X topped, everyone's like, "Oh, it's as bad as it's." Everyone says it's Armageddon and Carnage.
Hype. 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 Shit.
I just feel like when you have a tournament, and I've already been rebutted on this, where let's say you have 40 people and 20 people play Shadow Paladins, X, and 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 then it breaks down. Like, isn't that like one of the things though? Like, it's gonna win if everyone's playing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't that like?
Yeah, like, do we know the percentage of people playing it? That's what I'm curious about, because I actually don't know. Because it's like.
That's the same thing in any card game. Like, if you look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now with Cliff Forts and Burning Abyss. Cliff Forts don't do shit because a lot of people play Burning Abyss, and it beats that. It's whatever people are playing is what's going to win.
Yeah.
Especially in Vanguard, now that we have luck with triggers and whatnot, that makes it even more so for the majority, whatever deck they're playing.
Yeah. Gage, what are your thoughts on? You played Kagero, you won with him. You're pretty familiar with the deck. What are your thoughts on the X? Is this a deck you're going to be picking up?
I will personally be picking up, yes, but I also do intend to get the Perdition. It's kind of like what you said. It's got really great reviews because I'm sure there's a large percentage of people using it, so of course it's going to top, and so that hype gets over here. Now, I don't think it's the best card that'll be in the game, but I think it combines 2 really good effects that has more consistency than the Perdition one, because you have to have 1 grade 3 to ride, and then you have to have the other grade 3 to ride, and then you have to have your stride. Whereas this one gives you your choice of which effect you want to go for first.
I don't think it's the best card in the game either. I was just saying that, like, when you compare it to the grade, like, they both do similar things, but, different things are happening. We're having, like, a chat about it over here. Something that's Jonathan, you might want to look at that. But I think that, like, the X does a very similar thing to the Great, but it also has different play styles. It has different advantages, and the other one has different advantages too.
Yeah, like they're all great decks, and it just depends how you want to play. It's just it gets a lot more hype because one, it's Kagero, and that takes over the world, and it'll be the next restanding thing in Generation, I think, or is there's some Nova restanding in there?
Oh no, Vic Plasma.
That one.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, guys, and we'll go back to the extra quick. Out of anything that came out of set 16, what would be your preferred card to play?
Glare.
Glare.
Okay, so like with a card like
that just froze everything.
So, but there's so much applause I got kicked from the call. So with a card like that, okay, with a card we know, and then you look at Generation Booster 1, what is the card you'd play out of that? What is the card you'd play out of Generation Booster 1?
What's the Nova Grappler Restander?
Yeah, Nova Grappler
Okay,
Restander.
Vic Plasma's pretty good.
Plasma, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, Vic Plasma, not even close.
Okay, so but hands down though, like I mean, like no one's even saying the X. I mean, I haven't heard anyone say it. Like why? I mean, like it's just
Fine,
one of those
X.
cards that. No, there you go. Okay, we got one X, the cross, whatever. Again, I'll believe it when I hear it. I'm still saying it's Sting
I can
Saber.
guarantee you it will not be staying cross in America.
I just
Call it that anyway.
It's gonna be the X, EX.
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have the end. We have, scissors. I mean, next we're gonna have Zero and so forth.
I don't know if they're going to change the name of White Hank.
No, wait, you have to leave White Hank.
It needs to have like alternate art of Hank Hill.
Oh my god.
So propane and propane
Are
accessories.
you ready for the
One of you in the chat, get on it.
Yeah,
That needs to be a flavor text. I sell propane and propane accessories.
Propane is not real, love.
He's going to be a legion, and his mate is going to be propane.
Propane. I can imagine a little propane tank on there.
White Hand could be really bad versus Kagero.
But I mean, like, it's one of those things where you look at, like, even the OTT. Like, what did you guys think of the OTT in set 16? Or set X Generation Booster 1? Like, is it going to be anything, or is it just kind of going to die out?
Their stride is
OTT's
crazy.
been disappointing.
I think it's
forever.
gonna get overlooked, but I think it's everything's +1 in the deck. Like for so cheap, it's crazy.
How can you overlook the GOAT?
Mm-hmm. Like just
The goat is good.
everything says look at the top two, add one to your hand, put the other one on top or bottom. Like,
It does counteract the break even of stride, so I mean there's like a chance it could do good, but I think that like Vic Plasma's raw power is just way better.
Yeah.
oh no, definitely. Vic
Yeah,
Plasma
okay.
is probably the best.
But why are they not playing that card? Like,
They love the Dragonic Overload.
they have such a boner
Gotta
for Cairo.
And their rear
Kagero is a really good matchup versus Nova Grappler, so like probably what happened is that it was like the first weekend they might not have been as used to it, and then they lose to it because the new perfect guards and they're losing all their rear guards. Like you attack a rear guard, restand, attack, kill off the other two. Like you just can't keep up if you have no board.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, like going forward, like we've seen a couple of spoils with set 7 or not 17.
G2.
G2. Do you guys feel Vermilion is going to get that Legion, and what do you think the effect's going to be?
God, I hope so. I have a bunch of Vermilions.
I think
It needs to be something silly.
damage.
All right, one at a time. One at a time. We'll start with you, Golf.
I think it should be something really silly, like I attack my opponent's hand.
I typed that one card. That one specific card. You didn't
Attack
know.
Laurel. I mean, do you think they'll do like the attack 4? Like, I mean, like when this card attacks, attack the front row. When this card attacks, attack the back row.
That sounds sweet.
Like, I mean, that's what Brawler's
That's
basically
the
done.
blaster, right?
Yeah, that's
And then they get the crit.
Brawlers, I don't know.
Oh, bada boom, bada bang.
Vermilion would do it better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, it depends on what the other support for it is. Are we getting cards that like get pluses from that? Are we gonna get like Brawler S cards for Vermilion?
Well, I'm sure they'll go back to Brawlers. I mean, like
I know what I'm saying is, like they have agreed one that when a unit goes to the drop zone, it gets +3.
Free Dungaree.
Yeah, obviously Dungaree is the best card in Vanguard. We all know that, but we don't want to play the unfair cards. So
Dungaree OP.
Free Dungaree,
yeah,
man.
I have a friend who has like 40 SP Dungarees.
I pulled
Why?
an SP coil this week.
Because he likes to waste
seeing
money.
burn. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like,
Says the guy that has like a billion SPs.
I have SPs that matter, yo.
One. And
I'm still waiting for like the day that they actually make like one of those crate. I want SP heal triggers back. I want SP triggers back. Like if they're making them this badass, if they're making stand triggers badass, give me an SP version.
They have
Like,
shiny triggers now.
Yeah,
like in
we
the
have
destruction
Margle.
deck.
Hollow Margle.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like if they
love
have
it.
these triggers that are doing these effects, make SPs versions of them. Watch people flipping flip their shit.
But then they go to
I would buy 4 SP Catch Goal.
I want
Literally,
SP
I would buy
Goals.
4. Fucking boom. That is my favorite card right now. Best trigger. Love that card.
Make your Brunos really big, dude.
Yeah, man. That consistency
Alright,
is great.
we're approaching our 2 hour here. I'm gonna end by opening 2 o'clock. Yeah, I know. We're gonna end with open floor. I want to open it to you guys. If you have anything you want to talk about, anything you want to say. Actually, let's check the YouTube here and see what everyone's saying over here.
Okay, I call
They're
next.
arguing
Mason
about
Clark
the
sucks.
stride.
Whoa,
There's
whoa, whoa. That's probably
can I
true.
put
but
up shoutouts? I'm
Come
gonna
on.
put some shoutouts.
All right, yeah, go ahead, Carlos. You wanted to do it. I apologize.
That's cool. Shout out to you Cards for being my first sponsor when I barely started playing the game, and Rolo Robles for helping me out, teaching me the ways, and Pete Navarro Rare Hunters. If you guys are trying to pick up some Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff like that, I got you. But other than that, that's it.
Hey, yo, you forgot to shout out me.
Shout out to Matthew Ann for being a good friend.
Oh, okay, I see how it is.
Love you, Donnie.
I want to shout out to Donnie.
We're cheating on
Alright.
Donnie. I'm sorry.
That lag.
Oh man.
All I heard was I'm sorry for cheating.
It sounded like Yoda. Gage, anything you want to end? Anything you want to talk about?
Awesome that Wyoming actually got to be represented on something bigger than anything.
Hey, you guys had Dick Cheney for 8 years. All right.
We don't talk about him.
We'll call that a win. Yeah. He was the one good thing from Wyoming, and that's saying something.
That's debatable. And if Bushiroad happens to, pop in on this, it'd be great if you had a bigger tournament, more accessible than a 15-hour drive to Texas. That'd be great.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Mr. Gall, anything you want to say? Closing notes.
Not really. I'm good.
Fine, didn't want to hear from you anyway.
I think I need to stop printing overlords.
But why? That's their money makers.
No, we need more.
Bushiroad prints their own money. Didn't you see the dollar signs in the X's eyes?
Can I give a shout out?
Ching, ching.
Dragonic Overlord, the dollar sign. There you go. That's their last.
We have scissors. I don't see. We're not that far off. All right, Donnie. What is your thought? Any closing statements?
No, not really. Shout out to my locals, the Wasteland. Shout out to my friend that's a cheater over there. His name is Carlos something. He's Mexican though. Remember that.
I love you, Donnie.
Genesis for the win. The end.
All right, Genesis for the win. Mason Clark.
What's up? I want to give a shout out to my petition to let Bushiroad make more Kagero, Gold Paladin, and Shadow Paladin support. There's not enough of it. They're working with other clans. There'll be a link in the description of the video, assuming Jonathan does it. And that's all. It was fun.
Your team is represented on there. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Or your
YouTube channel too.
Yeah. Sorry, Donnie, you were added last minute. I do have, if you look on here, there are some people represented with their stuff. So, Matt, final statements.
I actually want to talk about something a little serious right now. You might not think that this affects you personally. You may think you already know, but there are people out there that really don't know. When you Legion, you have to put 4 cards back.
I'm dead. I'm out.
Guys, come on. I was playing in tournament, and I saw somebody, and he was Legioning, putting 3 cards back. And then my friend's like, you can't do that. And then he goes, but it says you may put 4 cards back.
We're all outplayed.
And just
Oh my
I told
god.
him, yeah, you may put 4 cards back, or you may not even choose one. So I mean,
Oh my.
it's a noobish thing. Everybody here pretty much knows it. I know you guys better fucking know
Okay,
it.
so why we're on the subject of that? You can miss getting the mate.
Yeah. You can miss fire, and you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. You do it
Yeah,
once.
you have to re-ride. So
Mhm.
I was actually shocked when I was judging ARG that there were people who were like, I forgot the mate.
Sucks to be you.
Sorry.
I was
You can't
on mate all day.
Yeah, so you can misfire the date.
so
And you can't try Legion again. And if you want a Legion, you have to put 4 cards back, no more, no less. People tried, and I guess they don't understand the way Legion works.
Well, those comprehensive rules are out now, so
Yeah.
they're updated.
Please just share this among your community. Make sure everybody knows, because when you
They
lose,
understand.
when
I
you
feel
lose
like
to
it's gonna
somebody,
cause, I feel like I'm gonna start T-shirts that say "Legioning is a thing. Please donate to bad players" or something like that.
well, I
You
lost.
watch out,
$1
that
a
little
day,
Asian
you
girl's
can
listening.
Speaking of bad players, I actually lost him in tournament that same day to another guy. He traded Legioning with 2 cards, and he was about to shuffle, and I reached over the table and I put my hand on his deck, and I told him no. No, you're not. And then I had to explain him what happened, and then he healed on 6 when I attacked him with PBA restood over Mordred, and then he crit me for game.
I love you,
I was like
Marvel.
losing to bad players since Triggers since 2012, but
That sucks.
Oh man.
just
Oh
gotta
man.
know. Yeah, when you lose in a tournament to somebody like that, it's like I could have done better if I got a trigger or something. Like he Alfreded, called 2 Blaster Blades off the top of his deck, 2 Brunos, and I didn't have a perfect shield at all. I dropped 40k shield on his Alfred just so he wouldn't hit, and then he gets double triggers and then swings in for game. So that's besides the point. Just make sure when you Legion, put 4 cards back, or don't do it at all.
I also have something to say.
Yeah, go ahead, Donnie.
It doesn't have to match art, guys. Like, it's
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Guys, can you Legion
It
with
has
the
to be
Blaster
Legion
Blade
wear, though.
figure in the
Legion wear with
trial
Legion
deck
wear.
with the fucking Alfred? Can you do that? Guys, I know it says you can Legion with Blaster Blade on Alfred Exavo or whatever the fuck it's called, but the old Blaster Blades, they don't have the matching, they don't have the half V thing, so can we still use it? Did they reprint anymore? Where can I
Honestly,
buy them?
Matt, it sounds
This
like you
one's
have,
Legion Rare and this one's not. Can I do that?
Right?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
my
no,
God.
don't know.
Just tell them no. If they
Legion
ask you,
wear.
tell them no, you can't.
Yeah. This is the kind of shit we have to deal with,
Just say no.
but it's whatever, I guess. I mean,
well, and the funny thing is, I mean, unless Legion Rares get printed in every set, it's a short thing we have to deal with because they're gonna go 16, 17, stride.
There's no Legion rares in the G set, so.
Yeah,
No,
stride
Generation
Rare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Generation
that's
Rare.
the
Which
thing-
I think they should have stuck with Legion Rares. Like I think they're too beautiful.
Generation rares
to-
don't
Yeah,
look that
that-
good.
oh my
My friend
God.
does.
also, they gave it.
I just got a Legion rare Alfred today.
They're pretty.
I mean, good job.
Name
I
dropper.
wanted.
All right,
But,
actually,
yeah.
and I actually owe this to Mr. Thomas because he was showing up late. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Thomas Sharp is a celebrity. He is famous.
What?
So he is a admin of our wonderful Vanguardians group. He also is an admin member of the New York community, an admin there as well. And also, can you kind of tell him what you do with the tournaments that you're doing, Thomas, real quick?
Yeah, so we started doing this recently. Every summer and winter, we hold our own circuit in New York. So we have our qualifiers and our championship. We give stuff away. We have prize support, everything. And we broadcast everything on our channel, Vongola TV, and then in parentheses, VTV. And so we're starting our next circuit, which the first day is this Saturday, to celebrate the kickoff of Set 16. And we're going to have some live streams and feature matches and a whole bunch of content from the event up on our channel if you want to go subscribe. And if you're in or around the New York or New Jersey area where it's a close ride for you to come by, definitely come out. Starts at 2 o'clock.
Well, you should go. You should drive down
then-
there or over there.
But then I'd actually have to go to New York.
Think about what you could do there. Think about the person you can play. The
I know.
rematch. I would fly out there for that.
Adam's coming this weekend.
If you fly me out, hey, I actually have this week off. If you fly me out there,
I'm looking to start.
That's not in my team's budget, but we have a whole bunch of the point promotion prizes. We have a whole bunch of those. We have like $50 sleeves you can't find in America. whole bunch
Cecilia?
of cool stuff. We got our case of set 16 just so we'll have singles and commons and stuff to sell, whatever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and we're going to be holding about 2 of these every month up until April to prepare for Team League. The last one that we did over the summer, the person who won it, Thomas Martin, ended up getting top 4 at the Albany Regionals. And
He missed the invite, though, didn't he? Was that right?
No, he got the invite. He got 3rd place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got the invite. I don't know if he could have gone because of the money, though.
Oh, my
So I don't know
God.
if he actually
Did he turn his head
but
to
he
the right?
did qualify for the invite. Excuse me?
Yeah, there you go. You're back. I thought you just ran
Okay. Yeah.
Smith us.
I didn't know. I don't think he went because I don't think he could afford it. But we had a whole bunch of people participate. We had Raymond Wong and Chris Sock, who both went to Worlds. In the first Worlds, they participated, and another guy who was participating made top 8 at regional. So it's you're gonna see a lot of either grade lock games or a lot of games by some really good players.
Well, if you have set 16, and I can say this, put the stupid Maham or Harmix or whatever his name is. Put allow that to be played as just just strictly G assist. Telling you, don't follow Bushiroad rules on that. Allow it to be played the moment it comes out.
No, well, no, because we're trying to prepare people for Team League with it. So we're doing it in a 2-man format where like each person has A or B, and then the A's play A's and B's play B's in best of 1. And then the losers of that play each other for game 3 if there's a loser. It's a popular format in Singapore. Our team leader, Andrew, he lived in Singapore for a couple of years when the game first started. So,
all right.
Well,
I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for doing something like that. I mean, like this community and everyone who knows anything about me and what I try to do is to better this community. And that, in my mind, is one of the very things that we can do is getting a local circuit. I mean, like, if anyone knows, Donnie, you know the importance of ARG.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the guys, things like that have to take off if this game is to survive because one of the biggest things.
ARG to Cali.
Well, I've been saying that, Carlos. I know Jim, and I know a couple things about him now, and, like, you know, I think he's going to be a smart man to go that way because there's money to be made. And, the biggest thing when it overall comes down to it, guys, is like, you know, things like this, little circuits and stuff, really make a difference in playing this game. So I appreciate that, Mr. Sharp. And we're approaching the 2-hour marker. I want to do some final closing statements myself. For those who do not know, I announced a few days ago, maybe a week ago, we're going to have 2 very special guests on starting next year. Donnie, it was not you, it's not Matthew.
I know. Yeah.
You're already on here, and I did say to Carlos, I'm like, I wanted him on a different stream. I am going to have the wonderful head judge of Bushiroad, JD. He will be a special guest.
I love JD.
Yeah, JD.
I love that guy.
I'm very excited to have JD on.
He's cool.
I heard that in the video. I'm like, I wonder if we should send him alcohol the day of the stream. And then the other guest that will be on the stream is also Cardfight Pro. Cardfight USA Pro writer.
You finally got a hold of him?
Yeah, I give kidneys away when I want stuff. So I'm gonna say those are some 2 huge guests that we're gonna be having on, and anyone who's watching definitely look forward to the information on that because I feel right after Worlds talking to JD is gonna be very interesting, and you know we already know Team League is confirmed, and I want to see what will be going forward if we can get anything out of them. Especially with the Cardfight Pro writer, I think it's going to be really cool because nobody knows who he is, and he does a lot for the community as well.
He doesn't show space.
Is he ever going to do an article about your tourneys?
You know what? I feel like I can persuade him. Like anyone can be bought, even the Russians who have done a lot for me.
He's like, here's the SPs I have.
So, also, thank you guys for all coming on. Thank you. Appreciate it. Carlos, I cannot say it enough. Best of luck to you, sir. I really, really, really hope you bring home the gold. And to the other guys who are playing, take second and third. Show them how America does it. Everyone else, Gage,
Russell and Kevin.
Mason, Matt, Thomas, thank you for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll invite you back to future streams. There will be a lot more going into the new year. Oh, and the biggest thing going forward is today's the 15th. There's 10 days till Christmas, so Kagero Day will be in 10 days.
Yay!
Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy Hanukkah to those who do. Happy Kwanzaa, so forth.
No one celebrates Kwanzaa.
No one celebrates Kwanzaa. Now, Gage, Wyoming's going to get bombed tomorrow, okay?
Oh, my God.
They're gonna bomb the one store that's sanctioned or whatever.
We're more scared of getting shot by each other than actual bombs.
Well, the current state of this country, that isn't things. But I want to really say thank you guys, and for those who are watching right now, thank you for staying with us. We hit a high of, I think, 38 people watching today. Make sure you go on the main groups. Make sure you go and subscribe to this. Make sure you say what you want for Christmas. And most importantly, comment, subscribe, and like this video. And we'll see you guys next year. Thank you so much. Bye.